Hi. Have you ever thought about why alcohol and tobacco is legal but marijuana is not? Maybe you're wondering, why is that? Or maybe you're not wondering that and you're like, oh, well, marijuana is a drug, so no. But if you have wondered it, you're not the only one. Does marijuana actually have negative health effects on a person's body? Or is it a harmless drug that can actually benefit someone? Today I'm going to inform you of the pros and cons of the legalization of marijuana. Now, marijuana is actually legal in a few other states, but not in Texas, so yes. After doing extensive research on this topic, I feel very qualified and very knowledgeable to speak over this topic. I will do this by informing you of how marijuana is less harmful than alcohol and tobacco, which are already legal, how legalizing marijuana can actually save the United States a bunch of money by ending the enforcement of marijuana laws, and then the opposing side, how marijuana can affect your body in a bad way and damage it, and how the legalization of marijuana could increase the percentage of automobile crashes. Some people view marijuana in a very positive way and that they think that it's very beneficial and a harmless drug. The first point I have to support this is that marijuana is actually less harmful than alcohol and tobacco. So according to Lackameyer and Rim, they did a comparative risk assessment of alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, and other illicit drugs using the margin of exposure in a 2015 study. And they found that a number of drugs, including alcohol and tobacco, out of alcohol and tobacco and those other drugs that I mentioned, they found that alcohol was the deadliest at an individual level and that marijuana was actually the safest. Now, the researchers also found that marijuana was the only low mortality risk drug out of all the ones tested, making it 114 times less deadly than alcohol. Now, they say the results from the test done determine that the risk of cannabis may have been overestimated in the past and that the risk of alcohol may have been underestimated in the past. The next point I have is that legalizing marijuana could actually save the United States a bunch of money per year by ending the enforcement of marijuana laws. According to Larry Jorgensen in his article, How Marijuana Legalization Could Benefit the Criminal Justice System in 2020, he found that between $600 million and $300 billion is spent on arrests alone for recreational marijuana users. It costs between $30,000 and $35,000 per year to house an inmate, and the cost of each arrest every year is $1,000. Now, although people view marijuana in a very positive way, others do not, and they think that marijuana poses threats. Now, the third point I have is that marijuana can affect your body in a bad way and damage it. So, according to a health effects study in 2018, they found that marijuana directly affects the brain and can cause short-term problems with attention, memory, and learning. They also found that marijuana affects brain development and that it can cause permanent damage on your brain or long-term damage. Now, a study done by Buddy T in 2019 in the marijuana can cause numerous health problems. A study was done in 2017 and found that marijuana users' risk for a heart attack is 4 to 5 times higher within the first hour of smoking compared to the general risk of a heart attack on people that have not smoked. Now, the last point I have is that marijuana can increase the percent of automobile accidents every year. So, a 10-year study was done on Washington State where marijuana has been legal since 2012, and the study was fatal crashes involving marijuana increase after legalization. They found that before marijuana was legalized in the state, 8.8% of the drivers in the fatal accidents had THC present in their system. And after the legalization of marijuana in Washington State, they found that this number jumped to 18%. Now, by informing you that marijuana is safer than alcohol and tobacco, which are already legal, saves the United States a lot of money by ending the enforcement of marijuana laws, and then the opposing side, how marijuana can affect your body in a bad way and damage it, and then lastly, increase the percent of automobile crashes every year. I hope to have informed you of the positive and negative effects of the legalization of marijuana And hopefully now you will not be left wondering why, and you will have learned something new today. Thank you.